Yes, I do know it's hot cold again, and yes, there is no information needed. Huh? What? Is it already that late? Oh no, I overslept. Hello, I'm Professor Oak. I'm the professor that always recurs no matter where in the franchise it is. Because everyone knows me, because I'm the first professor. So, welcome to the Gen 4 remakes of the Gen 2 specialty of Heart Gold, Soul Silver. The games that basically were pretty much a revolution in terms of that one. That was hinted in Platinum's story, and basically some of the achievements from Gen 4 were basically some of the mirrors of Gen 2. But more importantly, it mirrors all that stuff. Heart Gold Soul Silver is beloved in the franchise for a few reasons, but more importantly, for those that love the game so much, you get to choose between gold or a new character. But there is a bit of a consequence. Because gold is basically they gave gold a new name for this one. His name is Ethan, but a lot of people will always remember him as the protagonist as Gold. So that's basically it here. As for me, this is the umpteenth time I'm trying this again. You have no idea how difficult it is to try and get this going, especially since I was doing this in segments. And as mentioned in the Platinum LP reboot, I lost the footage of doing this, so I figured let's say fuck it and try it again. Welcome back to Johto, ladies and gentlemen. I am heavybass, and we are starting things off with a bit of a change in pace, because this was because for the longest time until Auras got re-released, this was the definitive remake of a Pokemon game. A game that not only plays true to its origins, but with the engine that they built for Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, created a unique flavor that permeated for everything. So by the way, do you have everything you need to go out? Here, use this bag to carry things. This is pretty much your quick shortcut. You trade a card. Here you go. Here you say a recording of your progress, like so. These are also rather helpful, which is the options, and just try and touch the buttons and you'll know what to do in time. We only get those 4 options for now, but as you may have noticed, we'll get some extra options for certain items as well in due progress. But anyway, this is this is Newport Town. I was trying to remember. Anyway, that's Lyra, the new female character that was specifically and controversially created for Heart Gold Soul Silver. When in fact the franchise already had a female. When Gen 2 came out, it came up with the first female character of the series, and probably the only female character I might rely on, which is her name is Crystal or Chris. She hasn't been referenced, and it's a real shame too, because Chris is her own unique character, and just like, you know, when they introduced Leaf for the Fire Red Leaf Green remakes, or they made the female trainer in that the green character, even though in the original series, which was a fun reference, they brought back Blue, the manga character, in the Kanto in the yellow re-release. So you may have noticed, as we're going to be talking about this one, Gen 2 was noted for making Pikachu an evolved Pokemon. So there were a lot of Pokemon that were given babies as introductions, and there were specific Pokemon that were given introductions as evolutions. There were a lot of there were an extra 100 new Pokemon for Johto, and of course Shitoa Iwata was famed for condensing 2 regions into 1 cartridge, as you probably may see in the future. But the only thing that is new, and they wanted to give Professor Elm some more relevance, they gave him a family. Yes, a wife and a kid. Professor Elm in the original did not have a wife and a kid, which obviously gives him a contrast, because Gen 3, Professor Birch had a son, Johto, which was your rival character, and the Gen 2, they figured, since we're going to revisit Professor L, let's make him more unique and make him a family man. Make him a breadwinner. I don't know why, but breadwinning technically sort of counts. Anyway, talk to him and he tells us that he's not the professor. Professor Elm is right here. This is Professor Elm. The meekest of all the professors at the time, when Professor Oak, Professor Birch, Professor Rowan, all the prominent characters were major contributors. Professor L was a bit of mellow, a bit of a tadpole. So Hard Gold Soul Silver decided to revamp him by giving him, well, first of all, a very unique sprite. The sprite work for this game is still top notch. Even though Gen 5 remakes, Gen 5 was the last of the sprite work, and Black 2, White 2 still remained the more advanced of the lot. It also remains the more unique of the branches, but hey, what you expect anyway. So, he tells us that he specializes in Pokemon research, in evolution, but more importantly, Pokemon kinship, which means basically walking with a Pokemon on side. This feature still remains the most beloved feature in the entire franchise, which was only done once and then brought back for Sword and Shield's Isle of Armor remake, for the Isle of Armor DLC that came back. But for the longest while between this and the other one, Heart Gold Soul Silver was the only game that specifically, and very, very specifically, have this remake. Anyway, the starters for Gen 2 are a special branch. We have Cyndaquil, the fire type, Chikorita, the grass type, and Totodile, the water type. Congratulations, these were the only single, and I mean the only single evolutions of these Pokemon until Legends Arceus came out, when they basically gave Cyndaquil here an alternate evolution, or an alternate Typhlosion that was Fire Ghost. Still looks cool, but it is a lot different than most people. Cyndaquil now has access to a few extra moves which it doesn't normally have. So there are a few issues with that, but Gen 4, or rather at the time Gen 2, Fire was considered the easy path, whilst in Gen 1, Fire was the difficult one. And here, we get our task for the moment, which is basically we have to go to Mr. Pokemon's house, and that's basically we have to go past Cyndaquil. But unfortunately, we have to walk because we haven't got the means to run yet. Yeah, you're probably wondering how difficult it was back in the day, when the only thing that only allowed us was the walking speed. And the walking speed is a bit of an atrocious thing. I remember replaying this again for retro achievements, and I was thinking, oh god, is this the actual walking speed? This is gonna kill me. Anyway, Lyra is outside waiting for it, and she's playing with a Marrow, which is the more specific Pokemon here. So, Ethan, you picked a Cyndaquil. That's a cute Pokemon you have there. When you walk with it, it'll become more friendly. You should turn around and talk to it often. That's a few extra benefits. I'll probably go into detail at some point, but there is a specific event that you can get whilst talking to specific Pokemon of a specific nature and all that stuff. Anyway, that's not a big thing. That's just basically quality of life insurance, or quality of life improvement. Gen 8 is controversial. Sword and Shield is controversial, but the quality of life improvements they did to Stone evolutions is amazing. I'm still sticking to that. It is the best. If you like Stone evolutions or Stone-based Pokemon, you love Sword and Shield, without doubt. It makes the game a heck of a lot easier. Very specific. Anyway, your mother will now give you your Pokegear back. And since we have the Pokemon in our option, we can pretty much choose whatever we want to. And we also get the equivalent of the Pokemon Gear, which is essentially our phone. The phone was the big advancement for Gen 2. It'll also give you a few extra stuff as well. So now you can use the Pokegear to make phone calls and all that stuff. The phone call aspect is a bit of a bitch, because you only specifically have, certain numbers. Not here though. Pretty much that's all the important numbers. we will be getting at some point. And there's room for about... In the original, there was about room for 20, and you needed that just to get some traders and for all that stuff. This has 75, which is really important. So we will be getting some. But anyway, as Professor Elm pretty much tells us to wait, essentially, he reminds, also completely forgot about this. Here, I'll give you my number. Yeah, Professor Elm gives us his number. This is kind of mandatory, which is really important because there's going to be an event that pretty much sets things off for gold and silver that's never usually really tapped into again, but you basically get the basic idea. So, here we go again with another Pokemon adventure. Or a task, for now at least. We have with our buddy Cyndaquil at hand, and by the way, this is not going to be our starter. We are going to be using all 3 starters. I have plans for those. Again, I had a thing going, and I'm not going to let this deter me from carrying out that plan. So, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you all in the near future. Bye for now.